All right, here we go. Let's go. Blazing 5 is during the regular season. I don't do blazing 5s much in the postseason because, frankly, there's only 4 games. There's only one here I'd bet. And I'll tell you that one when I do it. So here we go with our NFL picks. I like the 49ers to win. I think the number, San Francisco -7 is about right. Here's the issue with facing San Francisco. They are 7-3 against the spread against non-divisional opponents this year. What does it mean? Seattle plays them tight, and Arizona played them tight, and the Rams once played them tight. Their defensive line is so overwhelming, you got to see them a couple times to get used to it. And Minnesota now is one of these teams that hadn't faced it yet. I don't love Minnesota's offensive line. Delvin Cook has only averaged 3.3 yards a carry in his last 7 games. Vikings O-line, not their strength. I think they could be overwhelmed. I think San Francisco off a bye will be very clever and take a lead. I do think Minnesota is well coached. I don't think they can duplicate the emotional win at the Superdome. So I think the number's about right. San Francisco wins 27-20, but it feels bigger than that, and the Niners take a lead and mostly control the game. This is the one I'd bet. I think this is a potential blowout. I'll take Baltimore. Listen, Tennessee has been leaning on Derrick Henry over and 30 carries and over. And they just beat the dynasty and Belichick and Brady, and I don't think they can duplicate this. Here's what I really like about Baltimore. Yeah, we all know the offense is exceptional. Since Jimmy Smith got healthy at corner and they acquired Marcus Peters, I can make an argument it's the best cornerback duo in the league. So they can put these 2 corners on an island against Tennessee and just crowd the box and say, Derrick Henry, 8 guys, 6 blockers, you're not getting through. Now, I know he's like tackling a refrigerator. I get that. But this is a big physical defense. And since they are right now, the Ravens have the number 1 NFL scoring defense and total defense since Marcus Peters arrived. So, again, when you got 2 great corners, it allows you to cheat everywhere else. I'll take the Ravens to win 31-20. I don't know if they jump out to a lead, but I think over time, Tennessee is a lot of 3-and-outs and is the Baltimore dominates time of possession. Kansas City wins here to me. I'll tell you what I like about Kansas City. First of all, we know the Texans' offensive line is not good. Well, that's a problem. Because Frank Clark, even though he missed games, had 8 sacks, and Chris Jones, even though he missed games, had 9 sacks. These are elite defensive linemen against the right side of the Texans' offensive line, which is not good. I mean, Houston is such an outlier. They were outgained this year. They trailed more than they led, and they just relied on, again, Deshaun Watson to make flag football plays. But in the end, Kansas City brought in a lot of new faces on defense, and it took them to Thanksgiving, so the players were thinking less and reacting more. And I get Patrick Mahomes. I get all these weapons. I get Andy Reid off a bye. He's one of the NFL's best coaches off a bye. Houston has to get on the road. I don't like him at all in this spot. I'll take the Chiefs 33-23. I feel like Green Bay is going to win. The numbers right. Green Bay is not nearly, you say Aaron Rodgers, you just think explosive. But they really have one receiver that he throws to, Devontae Adams. That's it. He doesn't trust anybody else. If Devontae Adams twists his leg, this thing's going to overtime 6-6. I mean, Green Bay's offense is not, it's down from the McCarthy era in terms of adjustment points, third down conversion, yards. But I do think they're very good in scripted plays. In bad weather, they take a lead, and Seattle's a one-trick pony, and the trick is Russell Wilson. Listen, last week, not only was Russell Wilson the leading rusher for Seattle, Seattle's running backs on 17 carries had 19 yards. It's over. They just cluster in. This was a running team. It'd be different if Seattle was Kansas City, and they're throwing the ball all over the yard. It's a power running team, and they lost their their 3 best backs. They're a one-trick pony. So I do think Seattle's defensive front will have some success against the Packers' offensive line, which is the worst Green Bay line in several years. But in the end here, the number's right. I'll take Packers 27-23. Russell Wilson is 11-2 in one possession game. So if it's close late, that's what Pete Carroll wants. Get me to the 4th close. I think it's going to feel very early on that Green Bay's the better team. Green Bay's in control. They get a little conservative late. Seattle pulls closer. But I think the number's right on. It's 4 to 4.5. So my divisional round picks, I like the Niners at home. I like the Ravens big at home. I like the Chiefs big at home. And I like ugly Green Bay win at home. Now, you know I'm not going to go 4-0. So somebody's getting upset here. And I am betting my own money on Baltimore. Very risky proposition.
A lot of it.
Well, you know, just put it in context. It's a good airplane ticket to a city near Beijing. It's a fairly expensive airplane ticket. So, you know, this is it's an interesting weekend.
You feel very, very strongly about that.
I do. I think they've leaned so heavily on Derrick Henry. When you got to remember, this has been Tennessee's a franchise that's had so many disappointing losses. They're kind of like the Chargers of the South. They've just they outplay it and they lose, and then they beat and kind of bury the dynasty. They didn't go to bed till Tuesday, and I have a feeling you're asking them to go on the road. And I mean, I can see the way Tennessee controls the clock, but I kind of feel. I mean, let's be honest about Ryan Tannehill. He threw for 70 yards in Foxborough.
I think the Ravens win. I just think how this game goes is going to depend on how the Titans start the game.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.